Yeah, hi everyone. Very good evening. Welcome to this session, Certified Azure Sentinel Defender. This is a demo session. So, prior to going to this session, I will have a small intro about me as well as our Sentinel, SIEM intelligence, right? So, you might have gone through SIEM intelligence multiple times. You people have already seen this, but still, as a uh, standard procedure will take a standard introduction about our company. So, SIM Intelligence is one of the most fast growing IT security provided company. It is a leading blue teaming and SIEM training provided company. We are covering very wide range of courses and training related to cybersecurity and information security. We are one of the fast growing across globe, right? So we deal with various kinds of security information event management, that is on premises as well as cloud. So we do provide soft trainings, and we are the team highly skilled with instructor having various accreditations like cybersecurity domains, like the people are certified in CASSP. Like me, I am a CISA certified, and I am a cloud certified even too. So, moreover, when we go towards SIM Intelligence is one of the most trusted and reliable training providers in terms of cybersecurity, as I said. We provided unmatched hands-on practicals training to the individual as well as corporate worldwide. And our goal is to train, mentor, as well as support your career in your cyber security, right? So, I am presently one of the instructor at this particular SIM Intelligence. This is one of the most beautiful and very flexible organization as of now. I can say, right. So prior to going to the session, I can give about a small intro about me. So I am a postgraduate and I did my masters from Punjab Technical University in 2007, and presently I'm going undergoing research in terms of cyber forensics and information security from University of Madras. Right. So I have a 16 years plus industry experience in cybersecurity, exclusively, more than 13 years in on-premises and more than 5 years plus in your cloud security, right? So I'm a CISA certified and I'm a certified Red Hat certified architect earlier when I become, prior to joining, prior to working at this particular security field. I was very much interested toward Linux, right? So because of that only, I moved towards this particular security because this is a very good exposure because it's a very toddler, right? Still, it's a very young and having very good opportunities in information security. So, and I worked as a on-premises system administrator and network administrator for a legacy network, where for 5 years it was a long journey with my first, company. Then afterwards, I worked with CERT India, where I became an incident handler and a cybersecurity coordinator for that. Then I moved on to on-premises, this particular SIEM. That is the first SIEM I felt, and I dealt with, Splunk. Then thereafter, I became an operations manager for Curadar, Wazoo. Then I worked for various cloud platforms, like I started working for Curadar cloud version, that is QRock, right? Then I worked for Splunk, native version with a cloud version, right? And also I started working with the Wazoo cloud services. Then I moved on to as a chief security analyst for Active Directory and Azure Exchange, reporting analyst for a data center communication unit, where I have been working with Azure, right? Microsoft Azure. Then I do training. I till now I do take corporate trainings for Azure fundamentals and Azure solutions. That is AZ 900 and AZ 500, as well as Azure Law, that is log analytics and workspace, and a Microsoft security operation analyst, that is SC 200. So I do take this corporate training. So for the first time, we started with this, trainings for a day to day, and for a open call. This is one of the great opportunity to me to start with this particular session, because we were only looked after. only corporate trainings in this particular cloud area. Whereas we find yes, people are quite interested towards with a normal security trainings with respect to cloud. So we have planned one of the most beautiful Azure Sentinel, that is Microsoft Defender, along with the Microsoft Defender, that is certified Azure Sentinel Defender, right? So this is the first version that we have started for you people. This is one, and it's a great opportunity to me to start up, one cloud training other than a corporate training, because corporate training we do give trainings to the only the corporate people, where we do take for 5 days or 6 days of training, continuous training, and we found that that was not worth enough, because we are forcing the people to learn within a 5 days is not a right thing, right? So that's why we planned a entire plan of same course, that is SC200, the plan of exactly what SC200, what is the meaning of SC200, that is a Microsoft Security and Solution Operation Analyst, right? So we are going to understand about that, right? Exactly as SC200. So prior to going towards this particular training, so I'll just give a brief introduction about, and I welcome you all to Certified Azure Sentinel Defender. I'm Vishnu Chandra Patla, right? And this course will, in this area, you will all learn about what is actually Azure. Basically, the first and foremost, you should know what is an Azure. Okay. Then we'll discuss about Azure Security Solution Architect and deployment standards, administration of Azure security, that is how Azure Sentinel can be administered, how a user interface looks like, how to navigate your interface, right? That's the most important. And prior to that, how to set up your Azure account. See, there is another scope of area, because though you are going to work with organizations, credentials, but the thing is something like you have to first, you should have a hands-on practicals, right? So Azure generally provides a, one 30 days of portal activities. So for that, we have to have something like, small credit card kind of thing, and we have a unused mobile, which for Azure specifically, right? And we'll also learn and how to do a search, how to analyze, how to hunt, how to handle incident management by using, and we can identify some automated incident management, how an automate incident management, because Sentinel is a cloud native solution of both SIEM as SOAR, right? So if we go towards Azure, actually what is an Azure Sentinel? So people have so many doubts. So what is actually Azure Sentinel? So let's say we'll take a small intro about first what is Azure Sentinel, and then we'll go towards the course content, right? So basically, when we talk about Azure, Azure is a cloud native SIEM plus SOAR solution, which is having both SIEM as well as SOAR. Now people are asking what is a SIEM and what is a SOAR. Don't worry, that we will learn a basic what is meaning of SIEM and SOAR, that we will learn in our training sessions. But still understand there are two products which is conclude in this particular Sentinel, right? It is a deliberately quite big compared to a normal SIEM. It is having some automated procedures of handling, that is information handling, how to handle it, and here first and foremost we have a limitless cloud speed and a scalability. So you can do, but however this is not a free of speed and scalable. It's go up to pay as you go, pay as you go. Okay, anyway, that we see what you mean by free and what you mean by pay as you go. Okay, and we have an option that is nowadays everyone is become very free towards your Office 365 and Office 365 Defender, right? There is EDR kind of stuff. You can say Sentinel one, that you can say, and ingesting of these tools to this particular SIEM, this Azure Sentinel is quite free, because these tools are readily available and in a cloud itself. So we are utilizing the cloud to the cloud for monitoring of cloud. Okay, cloud security services for cloud to monitor a cloud. Okay, monitor cloud. The scope of cloud services and cloud services and cloud security to monitor cloud, which achieved by using Azure Sentinel, right? So which is having pillars. We have a 4 stage of different pillars. We consider of collect, detect, investigate, and response. Because Microsoft Azure Sentinel is placed on these pillars, these 4 pillars. So we'll discuss all these when we go towards our sessions, right? But just I'm giving a small intro, right? The same thing which we can say, it is having an extra feature that we can integrate it with an AI cloud. See, AI with cloud with SIEM and SOAR solution. Again, the add-on features are quite more comparatively, because as you go ahead, we have an opportunity to play with your cloud services more, because nowadays everyone after Corona, we can say not only after Corona, we cannot quote after Corona, but still people are moving towards cloud for not to take more pressure towards the handling of your disaster recoveries or a crisis manage or whatever. See, they don't want to put more and more pressure on themselves, so they want to simply remove one kind of big stuff, that is server from their area. So that is one of the best part, and the cloud services are very flexible enough. We have scalability, and we have an option called IaaS, that is infrastructure as a service, SaaS, security sorry service as a service, service as a uh, software as a service. And then there is nowadays now coming to something like SOC as a service, that is SECAS. Then we can consider SECAS. So this is SOC. SECAS is something nothing other than this particular Sentinel. They will provide you all possible security provisions at one location and providing the service as a monitoring solutions, right? So which is having so many core capabilities. It has a handling of machine learning. It has a ML capability. It has a capability of attack visualization, that is MITRE, as well as Azure notebooks, which will give you understanding of how attack surface can be placed, right? And we have an option called playbook. We have a data ingestion mechanism. The method of data ingestions are there. Then we have a capability of data repository, how to keep your data in a much better way. That we have event retention and event retention plans, right? And data search. So the data search is possible by using various methods here, because we have a by default we have something like a standard process, that is we can consider to be a KQL, you know data search. Here we use the understanding of KQL. Right now, what is mean by KQL and all, that we will see over this area. Now, not only the data sets we use for log analytics, management of your all dashboard, because KQL plays a very big role in this particular Sentinel. Now, what is the KQL? KQL. I keep on talking about KQL. KQL is nothing. It is a one query language we can consider to be Custo query language. Okay. Now, what is a Custo query language? Now, it is similar to all other SQL, but here we have a pipeline mechanism filtering. Okay, so let's say KQL is a pipeline mechanism of filtering. Pipeline mechanism. Okay, so we will learn what is mean by piping. So we'll take a table and we'll put a filter on it by using pipe. Then we'll get some data, right? Let's say we get some columns and some rows of data by calling some table, right? And here we'll put another pipe to call some filter. Out of this we are getting some, again, let's say we got some 1,000 columns and let's say 10 rows of each, or 10 columns with 1,000 rows of each. Now you are getting, after filtering, you are getting some 500 columns with again 10 rows. We have removed some 5,000 columns by putting some filter. Again we put another pipe, that is again we are putting some filter on this particular area. So I will take a very good example. Let's say, so Custo query languages works on the principle of piping. Let's say I will take a good example of I'll take a let's say there's a car industry. Okay, there's a car industry. So now first my table is something like, my Maruti is my first, or Maruti Suzuki is my first table. Out of that, I am filtering what all are my hatchbacks. Let's say Maruti is dealing with, let's say, 20 different models. It consists of various models, right? There are some hatchback, there are some, SUV, some MUV, some LUV. There are various models. So out of that, I am identifying the first filter is something like, let's say, hatchback models. This is hatchback models, right? Hatchback models. So in the hatchback models, again I am putting a pipe with a below 5 lakhs range. So again, there are some only limited filters come here because I am taking out first major consider is my Maruti Suzuki. Out of that, I am taking a hatchback model is a one pipe, and out of that, and I am putting a condition of 5 lakhs and below the condition. Then out of that, I am taking only white in color car, white in color car. So I got some out of this. Let's say here hatchback models are, let's say, 15, and out of 15 below 5 lakhs is something like, let's say, 10, and white in color is, let's say, 7, and I want the top models out of these white color that may be 2 or 3. So I found from 20 models I have narrowed down to 3. This is the mechanism how KQL works. Okay, so this is the very easiest, I can say, one of the easiest query language ever I have seen. We'll learn how to handle a KQL because the entire this particular Sentinel plays on the basis of KQL, because whatever you put your query, that on the basis of KQL. The first startup table is something like in this area security events. Okay, so this is a table we will follow. This is known as default table of Sentinel. We also call it as SDT. We also known as SDT. Now what is SDT? SDT is Sentinel default table. Now what is the first Sentinel default table? That is security events. And we'll call everything from this particular security events to create various queries to identify suspicious activity out of your cloud logs, route flows, whatever. Okay. So this is the first area, and there are a lot many other things. You can go towards options. You can visualize like this. You can go and you can visualize your Azure. This is a pre-built. This is a notebook area, right? We can create a case for that. What is our what we create? First we will create a case whenever there is an incident. After the analysis, if we found this is a real true positive, what we used to do? Will 1 minute. Yeah. Now what we do? We do as soon as we found a true positive data, so we'll create a case, and for the case we'll start off with incident handling, that is IR, or we can say IHCT, incident handling conclusion team or whatever, right? So or we can say IHRT, incident handling response team. So we have some workflow or a playbooks. First we have one playbooks. We'll discuss about what is meant by Sentinel playbook, what is meant by workflow, or how we can create a workflow, and out of that we will get some notebooks. What is mean by Sentinel notebook, how we are going to handle, right? So all those stuff we are going to learn. So this is the area. So how we can orchestrate. So we have a, automated scalable playbooks in our Azure. We use the Azure to use the logic apps. We have something like logic apps. We have a service now ticketing system or additional tools, whatever you want to integrate and do orchestration. There is no manual activity. We do entire process in a orchestration and the automation process. How we can do, and what is the possible of automation? What is the manual requirement? So we'll see all those activity, right? Right. So in this area, if we talk about the course content, The first and foremost, as I said, the early part that we discussed about what is actually a security, this particular Sentinel stuff and all. Now, actually, what we are going to learn, yes, exactly. We are going to learn about what is actually Microsoft Sentinel. So prior to going towards what is the capabilities of Sentinel, how a Sentinel can be managed, what are the scalable options, what is the architecture, and how we are going to use this particular Microsoft Sentinel, and all that we are going to understand. And understanding a cloud native SIEM solution in general, because we have to know that, because then only we can come to know what is the difference between on premises, on premises and cloud SIEM differences. Now, when we talk about on-premises, we have an opportunity to integrate entire on-premises solution to our on-premises SIEM, because we have our own server, we are integrating our own services to our SIEM. That is possible. Now the question comes, this is in the cloud. Now one question is something like, if I connecting with the cloud means, do I require to connect entire my services to the cloud? That means, do I need required to expose my entire network to the world? Not necessary. We have a process that is known as agent integrations. Agent integration is possible from on-premises log services, which is you can integrate it to cloud SIEM. For that, only one service or a one server will be visible to the outside, which is considered to be bucket server, or we can consider to be open. That we consider to be is a non-critical server. Okay. Then we'll use how Microsoft Sentinel user interface looks like, and prior to that, and we will understand about what is your log Sentinel architecture. This in this particular area, we should know what is the meaning of log Sentinel architecture, because it's the most important. What is mean by law? That is log analytics workspace plus Sentinel deployment. Sentinel deployment. Now we'll see this entire process in a practicals only. So whatever we discuss, the practical scenario is something like we'll discuss all about in a 75 plus 25% of theory. So now what is the practical percentage is 75. Okay. Now whatever we learn in everything in our practical area only, because without practicals you cannot, because it's exclusively cloud. Now the question is something like, how can I set up my practicals? Now people have the doubts, right? So how can I set up my practical environment? Yes, it is possible, because Azure is giving a month of practical area. So for that we required the first condition, we should require a credit card. So if you have a credit card one, then I can say it's much better. If you have two credit cards with the two different mobile numbers, then I can say that is a wonderful thing. Okay, because if you have a credit card, then you can create your Azure account without seamlessly. You can create your, and it is free of cost for 31 days. Okay, it is free of cost for 31 days. After that, you can disable the account. That is possible. It's very simple. If you don't use means, it automatically get deactivated, or you can, while last day you can simply deactivate your account. That is simply possible. No, Azure will not ask you why you are disabling. You have to pay something. It's nothing like. For 31 days there is no issue. If you don't use any services, then your card will not be detected. But once you once you connected and you can remove your card even. So for the 31 days you can utilize your Azure account seamlessly. And during this particular area, we have another option called Azure practice area. Azure practice area. Even I will tell you how to create this. But this is only for, we can say this is demonstration area, or we can say simply this is 4 hours deployment area. 4 hours deployment area. If you create this particular, this is free for 40 hours a day. That is 4 hours a day. Once you can utilize for 4 hours, and that 4 hours will use for, as soon as you completed the 4 hours, that entire workspace will be destroyed, and you have to create again workspace. This is basically for practice purpose. Okay, we can consider to be Azure practice area, or you can say Azure demo. We can consider Azure demo area, right? And we also talk about Azure. Another thing is called Azure Pass. Azure Pass. So Azure Pass is the MCT instructional area where people give you, one coupons. So that we will see how to. I will arrange some coupons for you people. For that you have to bear some minimal charges. So we let us see what is the best way. If you have a credit card, then you don't need to pay anything. But otherwise, for the Azure passes, I will let you know what is the possibility of get this. But if you have this, then you can utilize for 2 months of free services. 2 months of free services. So you can utilize your Curada, I mean this sorry Curada in this particular Sentinel for free for 2 months. So we can practice this during this area. And if you have multiple credit cards and multiple numbers, then you can create a new account and practice this for 30 days. Then create a new account and practice. And I will tell you some loopholes how to identify some credit cards and all, and how to create your workspace in a Azure. Okay. Then afterwards we'll discuss about the, as I said, we'll discuss about the pillars of your Sentinel. That is first data ingestion collection. Then we'll discuss about data source integrations. Now when we talk about data source integration, we have to tell. Now people can ask what are the different that we can integrate. Yes. Now the best part is something like we will integrate Azure AD, right? And cloud VMs, cloud Windows, cloud, what else? Linux. Okay. Then cloud to the Office 365. We'll integrate Office 365. Cloud Office 365 Defender. That is 365 Defender. That we will integrate. No worries. AD, Windows, Linux, 365 Defender, this. And now what you want else? Your load balancer that I will integrate. Azure load balancer that I will integrate and I'll show. Okay. So these are the possible integration I'll show. Now the question comes. Now people can ask the same question, sir. If you are showing me only cloud, what about on-premises? No worries. For that I have another scope. I will integrate on-premises also. I will integrate on-premises Windows, on-premises Linux, on-premises firewall. I will integrate to this cloud, that is Azure Sentinel. We will see these many integrations as a practical area. Okay, integrations are most important, and the more you integrate, that you can come to know, the more easiness of your Sentinel administration, right? So we will go towards 3 on-premises and 6 cloud integration. Total 9 integrations. Okay. Okay. So 9 integration that is possible. Now the question comes again. No worries. Only 9, but we have so many products. How it is possible to integrate 10, 20, 30 various products? No worries. I will give you a cheat sheet. Cheat sheet where the more maximum possible data connections, or you can say data connectors method. I will give you data connectors method. Okay. Various data connectors method. And moreover, the data connectors are very easy to connect. Okay. There is no, magic over here. Okay. We'll tell you the best easy method. Okay. Right. So once we understood about the integration, then we'll go and understand about log analytics. Now we'll understand about log analytics. Okay. Got it. Now what do you mean by log analytics and threat hunting? Now the question comes, the second pillar, what is mean by log analytics and threat hunting? The first integration, the first pillar we come to know about collect, right? Then we'll detect about collect. Collect is perfect. Right? Thereafter, I'll go towards, analytics. Right? During the analytics, we'll discuss about log analytics. Okay. Then there is something called, here we discuss about log. What is log analytics workspace? Right? Then we'll discuss about what is meant by threat hunting. Okay? We discuss about threat hunting. So during this area, we will start understanding about KQL, right? Because the entire log analysis and threat hunting works on the principle of KQL. Now, what is KQL and are just we discussed. Now, the Kusto query language. Kusto query language we will going to deal. Now, in the KQL, we'll discuss about the first statements, how to write a statement, general SQL statement, and what is the statement of this particular KQL statement. We'll check the differences. Then we'll start learning about parameters. We'll use about operators. We'll discuss about functions. Okay. KQL statements, KQL parameters, KQL operators, KQL functions. These four places. So that you can write a good KQL statement with a different analytic capabilities. Right? So once this area goes, we'll discuss about incidents, or we can talk about management, general management. Okay. In the management, we'll discuss about report management, how to create your reports by using KQL only, because we here the more important is something like KQL, how to create your report by KQL. Second, how to manage your dashboard. First of all, what is the dashboard? How to create a dashboard and all. Creation, modification, modification of dashboard, adding a widget to dashboard, adding a default widget. How to adding a default widget that we'll discuss. Then we'll add advanced query by using KQL in your dashboard. Right? That is most important. We'll create at least five different at least five different widgets. At least this is a at least I'm quoting, and after that I'm sorry to say I forget this. Here we'll also talk about in during the KQL we'll talk about regular expressions, right? And we'll talk about doubling. What do you mean by doubling? What do you mean by comparison, and addition of multiple table, empty, that we can consider addition of AMT, that is we can say addition of multiple table, right? So we'll see all those stuff there. Then we'll discuss about management. This is the part of your analytics, right? This is the part of your second pillar. First pillar, the data ingestion or collection. The second is all about your analytics and management. It comes under your analytics area. Then third is something like respond, right? That we are going to talk about investigation of dealings by using and all come to automation, right? We'll discuss about automation. Now we'll discuss about correlation rules. Again, this correlation rules, right? In which language? We again use KQL only. We use again KQL. Again, how to write a rule, or you can say correlation rule in KQL. What are the different conditions? There are various different correlation rule conditions. More than different 8 conditions are there. We'll go about all simple rule, and we can say complex rule. There are a management rule, understanding of various rules that we will discuss. There are more than 8 different conditions for this particular correlation rule that we were going to understand. Now after this, then the SIM part is completed. Now the SOAR part comes. Now people can ask, what is SOAR? Security orchestration and automatic response. IR concepts. First we'll understand what is IR. What is incident response? How can we start? That is detection, then remediation, containment, and your recovery, right? After the detection, prior to that, there is a preparation, analytics is all there, but I am going towards detection because already detected in your SIEM, right? Once it is detected and you are confirmed that is the incident, then how you are going to contain, remedy, and recovery. One, two, three. C R containment, remediation, and recovery. Then the process of understanding what is the learning value. Learning value. So for this, what we require something like playbooks. We create playbooks here by using again playbook management. There is a Sentinel playbook management is there. Sentinel playbook management will create. But we have already pre-built playbooks. We'll learn what is meant by pre-built playbook, how to understand the pre-built playbook, and all that we'll see. But after that, we'll discuss about each playbook has some stages, right? There's a playbook means what? What is the standard procedure? Now, I say go to something, go to something, go to you do this, you do this, you do this. Let's say I have given 5 stages. Now, how do I do? You said you go some XYZ area, you give money, they will give you something. Now, how do I go there? That is known as workbook, okay? Or we can say workflow. So for each stage, because we have been assigned with some different stages, right? For the playbook, we have defined with some 4 stages, let's say. So for each playbook, we have some workbook or we can say workflow. We'll follow that workflow procedure. How do we create a workflow? We will discuss and we'll create a workflow and a workbook also. And we have something known as notebook. Notebook as well as the reference management, okay? Azure notebook. Azure notebook. So here we will note down actually all the possible scenarios and all that we will see. And here we have an option called reference management. Reference management. So we'll discuss about various references, how to create a reference, how to contain, how to call your this reference from either workflow or a correlation rule. We'll discuss this. Now after this, all activities and all these goes in which query language again, all will go towards by using KQL only. Most of the activities doing by KQL. Now you can ask the question, sir, you said only 31 days I have. I have only and I don't have a credit card. People used to say I don't have a credit card because I don't use because I am afraid of credit card. So I don't use. How do I manage it? Don't worry. If you want to practice KQL, don't worry. I will provide a data model. There is something called data model. Azure data model is a one area. I'll provide with the free space. I'll provide with the free space where you can create all the possible statements there. We have a sample data there. We can create dashboard. We can create rules, analytic data, analytic conditions, and you can call anything. That is all this. There's a data model that I provide as a free space where you can create the sample data and all. Okay. So the sample data will be keep on practicing for us so that you can get a content on your KQL. Okay. Then after that again, people have again some more understanding. Now what is mean by Azure fine tuning? So we'll see how to do Sentinel fine tuning. Sentinel fine tuning. It's most important, right? Because we used to get so many false positives. We used to get so many false positives. Now we'll learn how to do a Sentinel, fine tuning, advanced understandings of Sentinel. Okay. So we'll cover these two. Okay. So moreover, if we go towards this advanced understanding, we'll manage various integrations right here while integrations, because when you are going and purchasing your Azure as a pay as you go, this plays very vital because there is a standard procedure and on average I'm claiming for a law and for let's say Azure Sentinel. Let's say I will talk about 1 GB of data ingestion for 1 hour. It is taking around $3.5 for 1 day. So on an average, if you are integrating 1 GB of data, they are charging $3.5. It is going up to $100 for collection, and it will go towards Sentinel, and whatever you do, the processed data will be stored in your event storage area, right? This is the standard procedure for 1 GB per day. 1 GB per day. This is the average calculations as I know, right? This is the best integration processor. So let's say if it is take on an average, this is something like $100. So imagine, are you using to integrate only 1 GB of data? It may be more, right? Now, what is the best methodology of integrations? It's not mean that do I require to integrate all the possible whatever you have. It's not. What is the best things that we can have to integrate that we will discuss in this particular as a advanced concepts. Okay. Yeah. So this is all about our plan of actions. We have a total 15 sections that I have planned, and it will be go off 30 35 hours of sessions exactly, that as per my best plan. So we are going to understand entire these 15 sections in a very beautiful manner in entire 75 into 35, 75 plus 25% of theory, because without theory we cannot go for practicals, right? That's right. Every day you will find some more or less 40 minutes of practicals with a 15 minutes of theory. This is the on an average activity that we used to do, right? So this is one of the most important, and we'll discuss about how to, even I'll give you some cheat sheets and managements, SQL cheat sheets, sorry, Sentinel cheat sheets, because we require this, because to sustain in the industry of cloud, it is very important that we have to have some cheat sheets, management solutions, how to manage your Sentinel in a better manner. And I'll provide you some interview questions, and on an average we'll provide the interview questions, and we'll provide the recording sessions, we'll providing the documentation of this Azure Sentinel, whatever the plan of action, accordingly we use provide the documentation. So what we are going to provide cheat sheets. Now cheat sheets, not only we are going to understand about cheat sheets of Sentinel and cheat sheets of KQL. So I will simply directly give you 300 plus various cheat sheets for this particular session. Okay, KQL session and interview question, of course, and the documentation, Azure documentation, and I will give you some important, that is KQL only, right? Cheat sheets of KQL, and of course KQL administration and management that I am going to cover, right? Documentation of Azure Sentinel and Azure, this particular KQL. Okay, so this is, and along with this, of course, we provide you the access to your recording sessions. Whatever we provide, whatever we express or we tell in a session, we'll provide you the recording sessions, right? We'll provide the recording sessions. Correct. So these are 5 premium services, that interview questions, cheat sheets of Sentinel, management of this particular Sentinel, and cheat sheets of your KQL. Of course, we learn KQL, but the cheat sheets are more plays vital role how to handle, because the operators you may remember, but you cannot express in a practice. So you can see this and practice it. You can see this and practice it. But at the end of the day, you can come to know, yes, you have learned something. And over and above, I'll provide most important is data model. Azure data model workspace for practice, workspace for practice of sample data, sample SQL. Sorry, not SQL, KQL. Sorry, sample KQL data. Okay, so these are the premium services that we are going to provide along with this particular sessions, and Of course, the sessions used to be Monday to Friday, and the session starts from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. So we are going to take sessions from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and this is something like Monday to IST. So in the standard time, it's the Monday to Friday, and I will give you a chance every day. It is PM. Okay, it is PM in the evening, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and it's Monday to Friday. And I'll give you every weekend task. Okay, I will give you every weekend task to give a you know uh, you know outcome of this outcome of the task. So I will ask special task results from each individual so that right. So these are the 15 different sections that I'm going to explain in a very passionate content. That's it's not like it's something like you go somewhere and start learning in a theory model. There is no theory model first of all, and I'll take everything in a very practical scenarios. I'm not going to take something like like this is the training session, so I have to cover like a training. It's not like a training session. It's something like knowledge transfer. You can consider it a knowledge transfer, and I will each and every area how the cyber industry will going to see you, how the industry going to see you as an expert that we are going to train in such a fashion. It's not like a real time training type. It's not like a training type where I'm coming and start explaining something you will listen. It's not like okay. Right. So this is the course model and the services, the premium services that we figured out. Okay. So and moreover, I forgot to add one slide to this. So now it's your turn. Any queries? Sorry, I have been explaining about the session itself, and there are so many queries I come to know. I'm sorry for that. I'll start up and I'll keep on asking you people. Okay, right? So first of all, I will. Yeah. Hi.
Yes.
Hi,
Yes.
people.
Hi, Vishnu. So, can I ask a question?
Yeah, please, you can ask.
So, I mean, are we going to write some custom analytic rule as well? I would
Yeah,
like to understand.
yeah,
Okay.
of course. See, while understanding the rules, we will understand without customer. That is known as correlation rules, right? That is we write as a custom analytical rule that we can consider to be correlation rule, the custom correlations. The available rules we understand, of course, we will understand all possible the rules, but also along with that we'll also understand about custom analytic rules that is known as
We'll
correlation rules, right?
we'll have some use case to build on our own custom analytic rules. Correct?
Yeah. That I will give you so many use cases. What see for every area the use cases remain same. There is an attack and we have to defend. Right? I will take go with all the possible attacks that I can explain, that I can see. I will take for some 4 to 5 use cases that we are going to explain. So it is not possible that I can go for a 20, 30, 40. So it's not possible. Right? So I will take a very important 4 to 5, 6. If people ask 1 or 2 extra, then I'll cover. No worry.
And timing
Okay.
is 8 to 9 or 9 to 10?
It is 8 to 9.
Hi, Vishnu. Morning batch is available.
Yeah. Hi, Samdhani Basha. Please contact management team for this particular query because see, as of now, we have planned this particular demo sessions to start up the sessions from 8 to 9 p.m. from 31st. I hope something like okay. We have 2 different another demos, so you can contact. See, there may be possible options if they prepare, if they plan. We can take the session. See, it is again management. People only do the plan because we have some uh, uh, a planned table that we have to adhere. So please contact management team so that they will give you a standard understanding. Okay.
Vishnu, are we
Sure,
going to
Vishnu.
create
Thank you.
some Jupyter notebooks in these sessions?
You can say the Sentinel notebooks. You can say there is a Jupyter notebooks or something like a part of Sentinel notebooks only. We'll see what are the possible chances. Okay, see there are some few steps we can consider to be a preview models. So if the preview models are available, then I will surely show you. Don't worry. So we'll cover notebooks, Sentinel notebooks, general notebooks, and as you said, you requested, right? We'll cover Jupyter notebooks. No worry.
And for threat intelligence integration.
So the threat intelligence integration that as a standard integration that I will show you OTX integration because we required an API calls and also so I will show you open threat intelligence that is OTX and if you people are interested I'll go with the virus total because these are the free tools that we can show but the paid and all that is not possible and the process remains same for that but I'll show you how to integrate and the threat intelligence of internal management is already integrated, so I will show that also. Azure Microsoft Threat Intelligence platform is there. We'll also integrate that. That is along with the sessions, right? So we can see that. No worry.
And this logic app and playbooks for automation, like
See,
are we going to
playbooks that we
create?
are Logic app is the first area that we are going to create something like for the playbook. We require that and all. So I'm not explaining that because that the sessions we are going to cover what is mean by logic app, what is mean by playbook, what is mean by workbook, what is mean by use case, what is mean by RCA, that what is mean by SOP event for Azure Sentinel, how do you write SOP for your L1 people? How do you create your playbook for L2 people? How to create, sorry, for L3 people? For workflow, how to create for a workflow that is for L2 people. That I can explain you in such a level. Don't worry, right?
So are we going to leverage the one which are available out of the box, or we will create our own as well for like understanding it better?
See, most of them are will go with something like industry standard. That first we need to understand the scenarios, right? Then along with that, I will take one use case and I'll explain. So that's what I can say. I can promise. So the availables are that we are of course we have to tell about first availability whatever we have. Then I will take one scenario that I will explain how to create, how to modify, how to handle, how to utilize, and how to delete even because that is also most important because if you create a workflow you cannot directly delete because there are there are some few important things that we require, right.
Okay, so possibly
Yeah,
how many it would be there like playbooks? Like it will be depend upon the use cases. So possibly how many use cases will consider for automation from the session? Any
it may
specific
be
count or
something like
something?
I can go up to 3 to 4 playbooks that it's not more beyond that in general. See, this is a training sessions, right? It is not like a you can say uh, it's not like a only playbooks that I'm going to take because this is the entire process of option. So we'll go how to start up with the playbooks and all that. So I'm going to take around 3 to 4 playbooks that I can explain.
Okay.
Yeah. So any other queries, guys?
Vishnu, you will you cover that admin or troubleshooting part?
Yeah, that's what we are covering, right? The admin part is what is the architecture, how we are going to create, how to integration, and that all comes under administration part only that we are covering.
Troubleshooting part, right?
Troubleshooting, of course, I said fine tuning, troubleshooting. Yeah, that we are going to cover. Don't worry. Troubleshooting is basically
And if it's
happens whenever the logs. When,
Vishnu,
yeah,
will you cover the custom integration like using API, SDKs, anomaly detection based equal internal
see,
workflow?
see, for one API I can go for that, right? API I can go, no worries. So see the possible again. So explanation is different from cover is different from practicality. So I can cover all the possible integrations, but the practicality that the possible practicality we can show because there are a lot many things come into the picture, the product availability and all. So according to that we will go through. Okay.
What about the SDKs, anomaly detection?
So that's what I said. I'll explain the model how we are going to integrate that. Okay. Got it?
Oh,
Yeah.
and we should do you take training for like other security products like SC200 have a Microsoft Defender for cloud as well. So do you take session on that as well?
Yeah, of course, we do take the sessions of all other. See, I'm also take the trainings of all other. Like I do take the trainings of SOC on-premises solutions like Eurodos and Splunk, Wazoo, and all that I used to take. And along with that, this is Office Defender and all. But according to the generally earlier we used to take for these things for corporate sector only. But nowadays we started for general sessions too, right?
So this session is starting on 31st August, or when it is
Yeah,
starting? Weekend one, weekdays
31st
one.
of the August. Weekdays
And
from Monday to Friday, 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. IST.
what is the duration? I mean, till what it
I
will
said
run?
35 to 40 hours that we used to take to complete entire session. There is actually 40 hours we can say, but I can say 35 hours, but there are plus or minus half course happens. This is not a, I cannot conclude everything exactly by sometimes the explanation goes big, sometimes the question and answers may go big, sometimes I have to retake the sessions for if some people are if some people ask them. So I can take say this is 35 hours of session, 35 hours of session, but we need to finalize it for around 40 hours, you can say. Like 40 hours. Yeah. Yeah, Gagan, Shekhar, this is free or paid. See, of course, it's a paid course. And please contact our management team. Right? Our management team will help you how to address and all. So that is available in our message. So we have provided a number 773 7131337. Is Mr. Rohan and management team is available. Please contact him. He will provide all the possible. Whatever you have the queries, they will clear. Okay. Any other queries, guys? Yeah.
Like for threat intelligence, they have some natively they have Microsoft Defender for threat intel. So will that be cover, or
That's
how does
what I
it work?
said, right? The
Because
integral part of Defender that we are going to integrate. Other than also, we will going to integrate with the API keys. That is OTX platform that we are going to integrate. That is possible. That I'll show you the possible things. That of course I will never leave the possible things. Okay.
and the queries which are written, like for every connector, there are certain KQL already written, right? So
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes to understand them is difficult because they are huge. So after this session, possibly when we are attending, we'll be able to build our own rules and try to understand them. Possibly correct.
See, of course, the KQL that I'm going to explain, right? Once you actually the statement, how the statement is, what is the structure of KQL. If I started explaining, then you can come to know, this is the way of understanding a KQL. Okay, that we are going to explain. Don't worry. How to join a tables, how to contact, how to identify, what are the different operators. So we're going to understand all those stuff. Yeah, guys. Any other queries? Hope you people have understood this. I mean, you people have enjoyed this particular session. And there are some queries which attend asked, so we'll have to address. Yeah, and I don't know. I'm very sorry. He might be Anthony. Is Ant is asking, will you cover the Sentinel architecture and design integrations and use cases? Yes, of course, we are going to cover with the session. And again, he asked about others like AWS. So the AWS integrations that I'll explain how to integrate the AWS, and I'll give you the even the documentation part of AWS. Okay. And someone asked Azure front door. See again the positive. See, we can go for that, but again I have to remove some of the other parts then. So it is again we have to choose at least 5 to 10 integrations, not beyond that. It's not possible to cover each and every integration process. But I will give you a bunch of course, the methodology of integration. I will give you the documentation for that. Okay. I said API-based data connection that we'll cover. I'll show you how to integrate an API-based connection and how to see what is the pre-shared key, what is in the pre-shared key, and password pre-shared key integration, how to create your key, and all that we'll see. And he said, what is the prerequisite? We don't have any prerequisites. We can utilize. If you know what is meant by IT, is more than sufficient for this particular training. We cover workbooks, and we cover Avinash Chaube is requested. Will we cover admin and troubleshoot part? Yes, we cover admin and we'll cover troubleshooting too. Right? And some people requested try to arrange morning also time period that I said 35 to 40 hours and classroom records that you will case. Yes, of course, if you are not available, you will be provided with classroom records, recordings, as well as the documentation. There's no issue. And for the morning batch and all, and the weekend batch, people are requesting. So please contact management team. They will give you a right suggestion how to manage those activities. Right. So that's all for the day, guys. Thank you so much to be the part of the session. I enjoyed the session with you people, and I hope you people have also enjoyed this particular session. I welcome you all to SIEM Intelligence, and thank you so much. Thank you, Philip. Thank you,
Thank
Sandeep.
you, sir.
Bill, Anurag, Farooq. It's a great. Wow. It's beautiful. I enjoy the session. These people have given thumbs, claps. It's really great for us to see these things, and it's a great honor to be the part of this particular session. Wow, that's really Haraki, Harit, Agoma. Thank you so much. That's great. I really, it's time to really see. You people should see this. That's really great. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for your beautiful support. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vishnu.
Yeah, it's really great. You know, with you people, and it's really tremendous for the day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Right, Vishnu.
Good night,
Thank you.
all.
Bye.
Yeah, waiting to